Hello and welcome to another edition of The Lightest and Best, where we take a look at various knife manufacturers' lightest and best offerings, and today we're looking at Benchmade's Valet 485. This is a beauty. This is not the lightest knife that Benchmade offers. They make an Osborne 351 and also the 531, and the 530 is also lighter. As you can tell, there's no stainless steel lighter on the Valet. There is a stainless steel liner. So the Valet is 0.08, less than 0.1 ounces heavier, but it's a very nice offering, so we're going to be discussing it today. Benchmade is based in Oregon City, Oregon. And this is the Valet. It comes in different handle styles. This is the gray G10 handle. It also comes in a diamond wood handle, as well as the gold class has a titanium handle. There's a Damascus handled Benchmade Valet also. Let's talk about the specifications. The blade length is 2.96 inches, just shy of 3 inches. The handle length is 3.73 inches, made out of G10. And the total knife length is 6.69 inches. The weight is a svelte 2.18 ounces. It is very light, very thin, and very pocketable. The blade is a spear point hollow ground with swedging. It has M390 steel and no jimping on the spine. The Rockwell hardness of the M390 is 62 HRC. It's perfect for opening envelopes since it is thin and long. The method of deployment is by a thumb stud, and it deploys easily. Also, you can just grab the axis lock and swing it open, swing it closed. Swing it open, swing it closed. Swing it open, swing it closed. The gray G10 is beautiful and smooth to the touch. G10 is a fiberglass that's soaked in a resin and then compressed and baked. Also, it comes in a titanium version in the gold class, which is $400 more in cost, and a diamond wood in the Shinola edition, which is $30 more in cost. There is a decorative relief at the bottom of the blade, which is a mirror image to the swedging at the top of the blade. The partial G10 backspacer with jimping is present in case you need to do a reverse grip, and it gives you a good grip on it. Even though the backspacer is present, the knife has a more or less flow-through design because the backspacer is small and minimalist. The pivot runs on phosphor-bronze washers like all axis locks. And for lockup, as I mentioned, it uses the axis lock. This is nice because it has an ambidextrous design. Note that the lock bars that you grab as handles stick out so that they're easy to grab. There's a Chinese manufacturer called Gonzo that also has an axis lock, very similar to the Benchmade. They don't call it an axis lock because that's a proprietary name. But as you can see with the Gonzo, the bars that stick out don't stick out nearly as far and are not nearly as easy to grab as the Valets on the Benchmade. The pocket clip is a reversible deep carry pocket clip which provides right or left, there are the holes for the left carry, right or left tip-up carry. The clearance for the clip is about 3 millimeters. The protruding rounded screw heads occupy a third of this space, unfortunately. It might have been a better design if they had used flat-headed screws. The ergonomics of the knife are very good, and it's easy for me to get a 4-finger grip on it. So what are my impressions about the Benchmade Valet? Are there opportunities for improvement? Certainly. They could have used flathead screws to secure the pocket clip instead of the rounded head screws so that your pocket would have had better clearance getting in. But there are many things that I love about it. It's light. At 2.18 ounces, it's one of the lightest offerings any company has. And they even swedged the blade. They skeletonized the liners. And because it's an axis lock, They're capable of skeletonizing both the show side and the pocket clip side. They have a beautiful deep carry loop over pocket clip that functions well. And Benchmade sends their blades out sharp. I'm going to cut test a little bit with it here to show you how sharp it is. You can get an idea. It just glides through paper like butter. And it's attractive. It's sharp enough to cut anything you need to cut, but handsome enough to be considered a gentleman's carry. Even the detail they took, look at the stop pin. It has a screw on the clip side, but they screwed it into the titanium to leave the show side relatively uncluttered. And the depression of the blade swedge has a mirror image on the bottom of the handle of the G10. There was thought into making an artistic statement and an aesthetic with this knife. I think you'll find this is not only a light knife, but a beautiful knife, and one that's good for your EDC carry. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video.